So here's the problem.
This is Amazon's new money-making app. Let me show you how it works. That app is called Audible. It's created by Amazon and it is exploding in popularity right now. People are spending hundreds of millions of dollars per month on Audible. And what other people don't know is that you can be on the receiving end of all that money and actually get paid by Audible every month. And because Audible is a subscription service where people don't stop paying, you don't stop getting paid. I showed my mom how to do this in her spare time, and now she has a new income stream with Audible paying her every month. And the way we do it is really simple. It's with something called Audible Uploads.
Comments. There were many. And oddly enough, no one disagreed with me that it sounds, to quote one such commenter, oddly horrible. Sounds like Henry Higgins complaining there. So I'm going to pick a few comments to comment on myself and then tell you what I think. No, don't skip ahead. Mine is just one opinion out of many, and it's worth hearing what real-world audiophiles and enthusiasts have to say. In pretty much a random order, a common theme is that the audio is AI-generated or processed. You know, I'm sorry that I have to tell you, AI speech synthesis is much better than that.
Some people have suggested that audiophile, may be AI. I have to say that if I were truly AI, I wouldn't be aware of it.
AI processing is a bit of a different thing. There are such concepts as AI mixing and AI mastering. I'm not sure I'm quite ready for either myself, but since I use AI quite a lot in other areas, as you've seen in my videos, I could quite easily believe that give it a year or two, and I can get my mixing and mastering done to a standard that's more to my taste than if I did it myself. I said more to my taste there, not necessarily better. That's a whole different argument that I might cover in a future video. Anyway, what we have here is a simple voice recording, if we ignore the sound effects, which we will. All that a simple voice recording ever needs is EQ, compression, limiting, maybe reverb for some purposes, maybe noise reduction if there's noise, which of course there shouldn't be. What it does not need is what we have here. Is this crazy? Is it stereo? Is it mono? Is it in phase? Is it out of phase? And come on, a simple voice recording doesn't need AI. Humans are intelligent enough. Mostly. Of course, the whole thing could be AI. I don't think so. What I see in AI at the moment, in both still images and video, is that everything looks AI. It's gone past the stage of people having weird fingers and teeth, but still there's generally an AI look. For now. More from my commenters. The channels are out of phase. Well, I don't disagree, but they're not out of phase all of the time. Sometimes they're out of phase, sometimes in perfect phase. Weird, but I'll say more later. Now, here's an insight. I guarantee it's deliberate. Everything advertisers do in this era is annoying by intention to get attention. We have a philosopher. But why would an advertiser do something deliberately annoying in the hope of gaining attention? One answer might be that they've tried everything that's good and righteous, and in the hope of getting more sales, they're pushing their way out of that envelope. By extension, a viewer doesn't have to like the ad, they have to pay attention to it. And what doesn't get attention more than something that's annoying? It's the squeaky wheel that gets oiled, is a useful saying. So, if a viewer, for whatever reason, pays more attention than they would if the audio was just plain, or good even, they're more likely to buy. I think the promise in this ad of making money while you sleep is more motivating to someone who's in the target market than the quality of the audio is demotivating. Something has gone wrong with the DSP, another comment theme. Well, something can go wrong with any audio process. Some processes are indeed likely to add defects while they solve other problems. Auto-tuning software, for instance, single-ended noise reduction, and reverb removal, as one commenter noted. These and other DSP processes can provide benefits, but they can come with issues, and it's important for the producer and engineer to weigh up the pros and cons. In this example, the cons are so massive that I'd have to say, what on earth can anyone think they've gained, apart from more attention and perhaps more sales? But I've said that already. Here's a good one from @present077, credit where credit's due. It sounds like MS stereo where the mid signal is shorting out. Trying to explain MS mid-side would be a whole nother video, so I'll say yes. If the mid signal is muted, what remains will sound phasey. I'll have to leave it at that because the explanation would be too long for today. OK, let's go back to the example and see if we can find out what's going on.
This is Amazon's new money-making app. Let me show you how it works. That app is called Audible. It's created by Amazon and it is exploding in popularity right now. People are spending hundreds of millions of dollars per month on Audible. And what other people don't know is that you can be on the receiving end of all that money and actually get paid by Audible every month. And because Audible is a subscription service where people don't stop paying, you don't stop getting paid. I showed my mom how to do this in her spare time, and now she has a new income stream with Audible paying her every month. And the way we do it is really simple. It's with something called Audible Uploads.
I'd almost forgotten how disgusting it is. Let's run it through a vectorscope and see what we get. A quick guided tour. If I have a mono signal, a lovely poem recorded in stereo and mixed into mono, I get this. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er dale and hill, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. If I have a stereo signal, my poem as originally recorded with a coincident crossed pair of cardioid microphones in Abbey Road Studio 2. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er dale and hill, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. So basically the left-right stereo soundstage is contained within this quadrant and this quadrant. You can see L and R at the extremes. Anything that strays into here and here is out of phase, at least to some extent. That's not necessarily a bad or unexpected thing, particularly with reverb, but not to excess. Now, let's play the example and see what happens.
This is Amazon's new money-making app. Let me show you how it works. That app is called Audible. It's created by Amazon and it is exploding in popularity right now. People are spending hundreds of millions of dollars per month on Audible. And what other people don't know is that you can be on the receiving end of all that money and actually get paid by Audible every month. And because Audible is a subscription service where people don't stop paying, you don't stop getting paid. I showed my mom how to do this in her spare time, and now she has a new income stream with Audible paying her every month. And the way we do it is really simple. It's with something called Audible Uploads.
I think it's fair to say that it's a bit of a mess. No, it's a holy mess, an unholy mess. We can see that at some points the audio is perfectly mono, while at other points, well, the phase just goes crazy. I wasn't going to mention the sound effects, but it's worth a note that the sound effects go in and out with the voice, showing that whatever was done to the whole mix. So it isn't, as some commenters quite reasonably speculated, something to do with the microphone. Now, are the channels out of phase, as in one channel is inverted compared to the other? Well, I've looked at the waveform until my eyes go blurry, and I can't see that. What I do see, however, is a variable delay between the channels, up to around 8 milliseconds, as far as my blurry visual search has found. And at sometimes the left channel is in advance of the right, at other times vice versa. My guess is that there's a plugin out there whose job is to make exactly this kind of horrible sound. I don't know what it is, and I'm absolutely certain I don't want to spend my time researching it. If you know, keep it to yourself, or you know what's going to happen as more advertisers get wind of it. But I did have a go at recreating this effect myself from scratch with normal digital audio workstation tools and plugins, without much success, I have to say. The first problem was finding a delay plugin that would allow fine control over the automation of the delay time at very short delays. It's quite infuriating trying to move the mouse pointer, cursor if that's your preferred term, by 1 or 2 pixels and get the setting right. When I did, however, after some struggles, I found that the first couple of plugins I tried didn't change the delay time smoothly enough through automation, and there were clicks that made any attempt unusable. A bit like zipper noise that used to plague us in the analog era of production and early days of digital. Remember that? So I'll go back to what I said before, that I would think that this is a plugin that has a preset that does this horrible, horrible thing. Actually, though, there's nothing intrinsically wrong with it. Creativity and stuff, you know. Alien sound effects. Who knows what valid uses there might be, and I'm not going to doubt that. Anyway, let me finish on something anyone involved in production would, or at least should, be aware of. What sounds good, or good to you, in stereo may sound completely different in mono, and a number of my commenters mention this. I'll play part of the clip in the original stereo, then mixed into mono.
This is Amazon's new money-making app. Let me show you how it works. That app is called Audible. This is Amazon's new money-making app. Let me show you how it works. That app is called Audible.
Okay, it sounds bad, but compared to the original, is it actually worse? Let's try using just one channel.
This is Amazon's new money-making app. Let me show you how it works. That app is called Audible.
I'd call that a whole lot better. Not perfect, perhaps, but way better than the original. The question is, though, would it make more sales? See you soon.